According to a 2025 feline nutrition report, 98% of cat owners are slowly cutting their cat's lifespan without realizing it. Not with neglect, but with their feeding routine. These mistakes don't show symptoms for years, until your cat suddenly stops eating, starts hiding, or avoids your touch. I've spent months speaking with veterinarians, feline nutritionists, and behavior experts to uncover the hidden truth about what's really happening in your cat's food bowl. And trust me, number 9 nearly cost one owner their cat's life. Let's begin. Mistake 1. Free feeding all day long. You keep that bowl filled 24/7, thinking you're being a good cat parent by letting them eat when they're hungry. But here's the brutal reality. You're creating a diabetic time bomb. Cats are obligate carnivores designed to hunt, feast, then fast for hours. Wild cats eat 8 to 12 small meals daily by catching prey, not grazing on endless kibble. When food sits out constantly, their insulin never stabilizes, their metabolism never resets, and their pancreas works overtime until it fails. A Cornell University study tracked 3,200 cats and found that free feeders had 4 times higher diabetes rates than scheduled feeders. But here's the part that shocked me. You have zero idea how much they're actually eating. Is your cat eating less because they're sick or just not hungry? By the time you notice weight loss, kidney disease has already destroyed 75% of function. The fix: scheduled meals only, 2 to 3 times daily. Put food down for 20 minutes, then remove it. This creates natural hunger rhythms, stable blood sugar, and gives you diagnostic power to catch illness early. Your cat's body needs a pattern, not a buffet. Mistake 2. Feeding only dry kibble. That bowl of dry kibble you're filling daily. It's slowly destroying your cat's kidneys, and the pet food industry doesn't want you to know. Cats evolved in deserts, getting 70% of their hydration from prey. Dry food contains only 10% moisture, forcing their kidneys to work triple time to concentrate urine. The result? Chronic dehydration that silently causes kidney disease, the #1 killer of cats over age 10. A UC Davis 20-year study proved that cats on moisture-rich diets had 65% lower rates of kidney failure and lived an average of 3.2 years longer. But here's what's even worse. Kibble is loaded with carbohydrates, corn, wheat, rice, that cats cannot properly digest. They need 70% protein, but most dry foods contain 30–40% carbs, spiking blood sugar and causing obesity and diabetes. Check your bag right now. If carbs are in the top 3 ingredients, you're feeding species-inappropriate junk. The solution isn't complicated. Add wet food to every meal, at minimum 50% of their diet. Or better yet, go 100% wet or raw. Your cat's kidneys will thank you with years of extra life. Mistake 3. Not understanding portion control. You eyeball the food, fill the bowl until it looks right, and move on with your day. Meanwhile, your cat is getting 40% more calories than they need, and you have no idea. The Association for Pet Obesity Prevention released shocking data. 61% of American cats are overweight or obese, and their owners genuinely believe they're feeding normal amounts. Here's the reality. An average 10-pound indoor cat needs only 180 calories daily. Most people are feeding 300 plus. That extra food isn't love. It's a death sentence. Each extra pound on a cat equals 15 human pounds. A 15-pound cat that should weigh 10 is like a 150-pound person weighing 225. Their joints grind down. Their heart struggles, diabetes develops, and lifespan drops by 2 to 5 years, according to a Banfield Pet Hospital study of 2.5 million cats. The fix takes 30 seconds. Buy a measuring cup, read the feeding guidelines on quality food, and adjust based on body condition. You should feel ribs easily, but not see them. Weigh your cat monthly. Precision isn't obsessive, it's life-saving. Mistake 4. Feeding milk and dairy products. You pour milk in a saucer thinking it's a special treat, just like in cartoons. But within hours, your cat has diarrhea, vomiting, and stomach pain. Here's the truth veterinarians wish everyone knew. Most adult cats are lactose intolerant. Kittens produce lactase to digest their mother's milk, but after weaning, 90% of cats lose this enzyme completely. When you give them cow's milk, their digestive system can't break down lactose, causing it to ferment in their intestines. The result? Gas, bloating, painful cramps, and explosive diarrhea that can lead to dehydration. A study in the Journal of Feline Medicine found that dairy exposure caused GI distress in 85% of adult cats tested. But the danger goes deeper. Repeated dairy consumption can trigger inflammatory bowel disease, food sensitivities, and chronic digestive problems that plague them for life. The myth that cats need milk is a lie perpetuated by old cartoons. After weaning, cats need only one liquid: fresh water. If you want to give a special treat, try a tiny piece of cooked chicken or salmon. Never dairy. That cartoon fantasy is a veterinary nightmare. Mistake 5. Feeding dog food to cats. Your cat sneaks into the dog's bowl and eats their food, so you figure it's fine to just feed them both the same thing and save money. This single decision could kill your cat within 6 months. Dog food lacks taurine, an amino acid that cats cannot produce themselves and must get from food. Without it, their heart muscle weakens, leading to dilated cardiomyopathy, blindness from retinal degeneration, and immune system collapse. The Veterinary Medical Teaching Hospital documented multiple cases of cats fed dog food exclusively developing irreversible heart failure within 4 to 6 months. But it gets worse. Dog food contains plant proteins and lower meat content that cats can't properly metabolize. They'll eat until they're full, but remain nutritionally starved at the cellular level. Notice the symptoms too late: lethargy, difficulty breathing, sudden collapse. By then, the damage is permanent. A cat fed dog food for just 3 months can develop heart abnormalities visible on ultrasound. The price difference between cat and dog food is $10 per month. That's less than 2 coffees. But the emergency vet bill for heart failure? $8,000, if they even survive. Keep the food separate, always. Your cat's life depends on species-specific nutrition. Mistake 6. Not transitioning foods properly. You found a better cat food, dumped the old bag, and filled the bowl with the new one. Within 12 hours, your cat is vomiting, has diarrhea, and refuses to eat. You blame the new food, but the real problem is your transition method. A cat's digestive system hosts trillions of bacteria specifically adapted to their current diet. Sudden changes cause complete microbial chaos, leading to severe GI upset in 82% of cats, according to University of Illinois research. But here's the dangerous part. Cats who feel nauseous can develop food aversions, refusing that new food forever, even if it's higher quality. Worse, if a cat stops eating for 48 hours, they risk hepatic lipidosis, a life-threatening liver condition where fat accumulates and causes organ failure. The proper transition takes 7 to 10 days minimum. Days 1 to 3, 80% old food, 20% new. Days 4, 6, 60% old, 40% new. Days 7, 9, 40% old, 60% new. Day 10 plus, 100% new food. This gradual shift allows gut bacteria to adapt and helps identify true food allergies versus transition shock. Patience during a food change isn't optional. It's the difference between a health upgrade and a $2,000 vet emergency. Mistake 7. Ignoring the water fountain need. You fill a water bowl once daily and forget about it. By evening, it's filled with floating food bits, dust, and backwash saliva. Your cat takes a few reluctant sips because they're desperate, but they're chronically dehydrated, and you don't even know it. Cats have a naturally low thirst drive, inherited from their desert-dwelling ancestors. They evolved to get moisture from prey, not standing water. A stagnant bowl triggers their instincts to avoid contaminated water sources. The result? They drink 40 to 60% less than they need. Ohio State's veterinary college found that cats drinking from stagnant bowls consumed an average of only 1 to 2 ounces daily, when they need 4 to 6 ounces for a 10-pound cat. This chronic dehydration is a direct pipeline to kidney disease, urinary crystals, and bladder stones. But here's the breakthrough. Cats are instinctively attracted to moving water. It signals freshness and safety. Studies show that cats using water fountains drink 30–50% more water than bowl users. A $25 fountain literally adds years to your cat's life by preventing the kidney failure that kills 30% of senior cats. Fresh, flowing water isn't a luxury. It's a biological necessity you've been ignoring. Mistake 8. Feeding tuna as a regular meal. Your cat goes crazy for tuna, so you give it to them daily, thinking you're providing a healthy protein source. But here's what veterinarians know that you don't. Tuna is slowly poisoning your cat with mercury and creating a dangerous addiction. Tuna, especially the kind in cans for humans, accumulates mercury from ocean pollution. Cats eating tuna daily develop mercury poisoning that attacks their nervous system, causing loss of coordination, tremors, and behavioral changes. A study in environmental research found that cats fed tuna 3+ times weekly had blood mercury levels 12 times higher than the safe threshold. But the addiction aspect is even more insidious. Tuna contains high levels of unsaturated fats that oxidize quickly, creating a flavor cats find irresistible. So irresistible that they'll refuse other foods, even their regular balanced diet. Veterinarians call this tuna junkie syndrome. These cats develop severe nutritional deficiencies, particularly vitamin E deficiency, leading to a painful inflammatory condition called steatitis, or yellow fat disease. Their fat tissue becomes inflamed and painful to touch. Additionally, tuna lacks taurine, so cats eating it exclusively develop heart disease. An occasional tuna treat is fine, once every 2 to 3 weeks maximum, but daily or even weekly tuna is a slow-acting poison that creates addiction while starving their body. Mistake 9. Not recognizing food. Allergies. Your cat scratches constantly, overgrooms until bald spots appear, vomits weekly, and has chronic diarrhea. You try different litter, flea treatments, and medications, but nothing works. That's because you're missing the obvious culprit, their food. The Journal of Feline Medicine revealed that 60% of chronic GI issues and 45% of skin problems in cats are actually food allergies or sensitivities. The most common allergens? Chicken, beef, fish, and dairy, the exact ingredients in 95% of commercial cat foods. Here's why this is so hard to diagnose. Unlike immediate allergic reactions, food allergies in cats build slowly over months or years of exposure. Their immune system gradually becomes hypersensitive, and suddenly the food they've eaten for 3 years is now making them sick. Symptoms aren't just itching. They include vomiting, diarrhea, ear infections, excessive grooming, and even behavior changes like aggression due to chronic discomfort. The gold standard diagnostic is an elimination diet. Feed a single novel protein they've never had before, like rabbit, venison, or duck, with a single carb source for 8 to 12 weeks. Nothing else. If symptoms resolve, you found the answer. Then reintroduce old ingredients, one at a time, to identify the trigger. Most vets never suggest this because it requires owner commitment. But food allergies don't just cause discomfort. They create chronic inflammation that damages organs over time. Stop treating symptoms and start investigating the source. Mistake 10. Feeding only at floor level. You place the food bowl on the floor, and your cat crouches awkwardly to eat, their neck bent downward in an unnatural position. Over months and years, this daily strain causes something you'd never connect to a food bowl: arthritis, neck pain, and digestive issues. Cats' natural eating position when catching prey is head neutral or slightly elevated. Forcing them to crane downward repeatedly strains cervical vertebrae and can exacerbate arthritis in senior cats. A study in the Journal of Veterinary Behavior found that cats with elevated food bowls showed 34% less regurgitation and significantly reduced neck strain markers. But here's the part that shocked veterinarians. Floor-level feeding also increases the chances of vomiting right after meals because the awkward position creates pressure on their stomach and esophagus. The food doesn't flow smoothly to the stomach, sometimes causing them to eat too fast or gulp air. The solution costs $10. Buy an elevated food bowl or place their current bowl on a stand 3 to 6 inches off the ground. This simple adjustment aligns their esophagus correctly, reduces strain on aging joints, and decreases vomiting episodes. Your senior cat's mysterious vomiting might not be illness, it might be physics. An elevated bowl literally changes the angle of digestion. Mistake 11. Feeding human food toxic to cats. You share a bite of your meal, thinking it's harmless. That small act of love sends 5,000 cats to emergency rooms annually. The ASPCA Poison Control receives over 150,000 calls about cats poisoned by human food, and most owners had no idea what they gave was toxic. Here's the deadly list. Onions and garlic in any form destroy red blood cells, causing hemolytic anemia that shows no symptoms until your cat collapses from oxygen deprivation. Even a tiny amount in sauces or seasonings accumulates over time. Grapes and raisins cause acute kidney failure in some cats, with no known safe dose. Chocolate contains theobromine that causes seizures, heart arrhythmias, and death. The darker the chocolate, the deadlier it is. Xylitol, the artificial sweetener in sugar-free products, causes liver failure within hours. Raw dough expands in their stomach, causing bloating, while the yeast produces alcohol, leading to alcohol poisoning. Cooked bones splinter and pierce intestines, causing internal bleeding. But here's what almost no one knows. Even safe human foods high in fat, like bacon or butter, can trigger pancreatitis, an excruciating condition with a 40% fatality rate. A single high-fat meal can destroy their pancreas permanently. The rule is absolute. If it's not specifically made for cats, don't feed it. Human food isn't a treat. It's a gamble with their life. Mistake 12. Ignoring senior cat nutritional needs. Your 12-year-old cat is eating the same food they ate at 2 years old. That's like feeding a toddler and a 70-year-old the same meal and expecting both to thrive. It's nutritional insanity. After age 10, a cat's metabolism slows by 30%, their kidneys function at reduced capacity, their ability to absorb nutrients declines, and their teeth may be damaged, yet their food remains unchanged. The result? They're either becoming obese from excess calories or malnourished from poor nutrient absorption. Cornell's College of Veterinary Medicine found that senior cats need higher quality, more digestible proteins because their intestines absorb nutrients less efficiently. They also need lower phosphorus to protect failing kidneys, higher omega-3 fatty acids for joint inflammation, and softer textures if dental disease is present. But here's what most owners miss. Senior cats often hide illness by eating less gradually. By the time you notice weight loss, they've lost 20% of body weight and are in crisis. Switching to senior-specific formulas at age 10 increased lifespan by an average of 2.1 years in a study of 4,000 cats. Your senior cat isn't just old. They have different biological needs that their current food isn't meeting. Feed the life stage, not the habit. Mistake 13. Feeding in a high-traffic or stressful location. You place your cat's food bowl right next to the washing machine, near the dog's area, or in the middle of a busy kitchen where kids run past every few minutes. Your cat approaches cautiously, eats a few bites, then walks away, stressed. You think they're just picky, but the real problem is you've turned mealtime into a nightmare. Cats are both predators and prey animals in nature. When eating, they're vulnerable and need to feel safe. Placing food in high-traffic areas triggers constant stress responses, flooding their system with cortisol that suppresses appetite and digestion. A study at the University of Lincoln found that cats eating in stressful environments consumed 40% less food and showed elevated stress markers in their blood work. But the damage goes deeper than missed meals. Chronic stress during eating causes inflammatory bowel disease, food aversions, and behavioral issues like aggression or inappropriate elimination. Multi-cat households are even worse. Dominant cats will guard food areas, causing submissive cats to skip meals entirely, rather than risk confrontation. The fix requires strategic placement. Food should be in a quiet, low-traffic corner, away from litter boxes. Cats won't eat near their bathroom. Away from loud appliances, and with a clear escape route so they don't feel trapped. In multi-cat homes, create separate feeding stations in different rooms. A stressed cat can't digest properly, even if the food is perfect. Location isn't just convenience. It's the difference between a cat who eats comfortably and one who develops chronic digestive problems from anxiety. Mistake 14. Not recognizing whisker fatigue. Your cat approaches their food bowl, but instead of eating normally, they pull kibble out with their paw and eat it off the floor. Or they only eat from the center of the bowl, leaving a ring of food around the edges. You assume they're being weird or wasteful, but they're actually in pain, and the bowl is hurting them. Whiskers aren't just cute face decorations. They're highly sensitive sensory organs packed with nerve endings. When a cat's whiskers repeatedly touch the sides of a deep or narrow bowl while eating, it causes overstimulation called whisker fatigue or whisker stress. Each touch sends signals to their brain, and after dozens or hundreds of touches per meal, it becomes genuinely painful and overwhelming. Research published in the Journal of Feline Medicine and Surgery found that whisker stress causes cats to eat less, develop food aversions, and show signs of anxiety around mealtimes. They'll paw food out, eat only from the center, or avoid the bowl entirely. But most owners never connect the behavior to the bowl shape. The solution is simple. Use wide, shallow dishes where their whiskers never touch the sides. Flat plates work even better. Within days, you'll notice your cat eating more comfortably and finishing their meals instead of leaving food behind. That picky eater behavior wasn't attitude. It was physical discomfort you were forcing on them 3 times a day. A $5 shallow dish solves a problem that could lead to chronic malnutrition. Mistake 15. Feeding too close to the litter box. You set up a convenient cat station with food, water, and litter box all in one area, thinking you're being efficient. But you've just violated one of your cat's most basic instincts, and they're silently suffering for it. In nature, cats never eliminate near where they eat. It's a survival mechanism to avoid contaminating food sources with bacteria from waste. When you place food within 10 to 15 feet of a litter box, you're triggering deep biological stress that suppresses their appetite and disgust response. A study at Ohio State University's Veterinary Behavior Clinic found that cats forced to eat near litter boxes consumed 30% less food, showed elevated stress hormones, and developed litter box avoidance issues because they associated the entire area with conflicting instincts. But here's what makes this truly dangerous. Cats would rather not eat than eat in a location that feels contaminated. They'll skip meals, lose weight, and risk hepatic lipidosis rather than violate their instincts. You won't notice until they're seriously ill. Additionally, airborne particles from litter, dust, ammonia fumes, fecal bacteria contaminate their food and water. Even covered boxes release these particles when cats scratch and exit. Your cat is literally breathing litter dust while eating, consuming bacteria with every bite. The fix? Separate food and litter by at least 15–20 feet, ideally in completely different rooms. If you live in a studio apartment, use furniture or barriers to create visual separation. This isn't about your convenience. It's about respecting biology that's been hardwired for thousands of years. Feed them where they feel safe, not where it's easy for you. Mistake 16. Using plastic food and water bowls. That cheap plastic bowl you bought at the pet store seems perfectly fine. It holds food, it's easy to clean. What's the problem? The problem is it's slowly poisoning your cat and causing a painful skin condition you've been treating with medication instead of fixing the source. Plastic is porous at a microscopic level. Every time your cat eats, their saliva, food oils, and bacteria seep into tiny scratches and crevices in the plastic. No amount of washing removes it. Within weeks, the bowl becomes a bacterial breeding ground, harboring staph, E. coli, and other pathogens. A study by the National Sanitation Foundation found that plastic pet bowls contain 10 times more bacteria than stainless steel bowls even after washing. But the visible problem is feline acne. Those black dots and crusty bumps on your cat's chin aren't dirt. They're bacterial infections caused by repeatedly pressing their chin against contaminated plastic while eating. The bacteria clogs pores, causing painful inflammation that can become infected and require antibiotics. Additionally, some cats develop contact allergies to the chemicals in plastic, causing itching and hair loss around their face. The fix costs $8. Switch to stainless steel or ceramic bowls immediately. Stainless steel is non-porous, dishwasher safe, and doesn't harbor bacteria. Ceramic is a close second if properly glazed. Throw away every plastic bowl in your house. That chin acne your vet keeps treating? It'll vanish within 2 to 3 weeks of switching bowls. You've been medicating a symptom while feeding them from the source of infection 3 times a day. Mistake 17. Not providing enough feeding stations in multi-cat homes. You have 3 cats and 2 food bowls, figuring they can share. But every mealtime is a silent war you're not seeing, and it's causing one of your cats to become malnourished while another becomes obese. Cats are solitary hunters in nature, not pack animals. They don't naturally share resources, and in multi-cat households, complex hierarchies form that you might not even notice. The dominant cat doesn't need to hiss or fight. Just their presence near the food bowl can intimidate a submissive cat into not eating. A landmark study at the University of Bristol found that in homes with insufficient feeding stations, 73% of cats showed signs of resource guarding, and submissive cats consumed 25 to 40% less food than they needed. But you'll never see the aggression. It's a glance, a slow approach, a body block, subtle signals that send the message, "This food is mine." The submissive cat walks away hungry rather than risk confrontation. Over months, they lose weight, become lethargic, and develop stress-related illnesses, while the dominant cat may overeat and become obese. The veterinary rule is simple. Number of cats plus 1 equals feeding. Stations needed. 3 cats need 4 separate feeding locations in different areas of the home. This ensures every cat can eat without stress, competition, or fear. Place stations at different heights in separate rooms, and monitor to ensure each cat has access. Food aggression in cats is silent, but the health consequences are loud. One cat's mysterious weight loss might not be illness. It might be bullying you never witnessed. Before we dive in, If you truly love your cat and want to give them the longest, healthiest life possible, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Because here, every video is backed by real science, expert advice, and the kind of secrets most vets wish more cat owners knew. Don't miss out. Your cat deserves it.